Hey, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you listen to this. Hello, I'm Jerry Dove. I'm your host of Kicking It with GDove. Let me show you my little picture since I went through all the trouble of getting that done. So that's me, G-Dub, kicking it with G-Dub. Tonight, we're going to talk about a great new venture that I am happy and proud to be involved in. And I've got the owner and the person who thought of all this is going to be with us. That's Free Brown. But first, let me tell you about Live at Vibe, okay? Live at Vibe is a new destination here in the Bay Area for culture, cuisine, community, and proudly announces the launch of Live at Vibe, an intimate live music series designed to spotlight emerging and legendary Bay Area talent such as Valerie Trout, Martin Luther McCoy, Soul Mechanics, La Femme Fatale, and so many more. It opens this Friday, July the 11th. We're going to tell you all about it, how to get tickets, and answer all your questions, okay? Let me have you join me with Free Brown. Hello, Free.
Hi, Mr. Jerry.
Hey, Mr. Jerry, how you like that? What's going on? So what made you decide that you're going to do this thing? First of all, let me tell people really quickly how we reconnected. So you hit me up on Facebook just anonymously in my DMs and asking me to come and join you on this venture. I'm like, what? Who? What? Richmond? Oh, okay. What? And then you started to tell me about it. I did a little Google on it, and okay, that looks cool. And then what happened was my wife ended up having a job interview right in the same building like 3 days before. So I got a little sneak peek at the building. I said, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this. So came down to see you and you told us all about it. It's fantastic. So feel free to tell us what you decided you want to do with this place and why you decided it and what's it going to be like. Go ahead.
Okay, so in a nutshell, it's giving a therapist 3,000 plus square foot space and then letting it rip. So oftentimes finding space for events is very difficult. So once I got this one, the entire space I questioned myself about what else we could fill it with, what else would be meaningful, what else would secure a cultural legacy, and exchange in music was one of those things. We also have art in here, like literal art on the walls, mural on the glass, filmmaker discussions. So a lot of forms of art are happening here. Sewing classes. So music was obviously a logical choice. It's the background and foreground of everything that we have going on here. And then I reached out to Valerie and just asked her, like, are there listening parties? Where are people listening to music and new music and things of that nature? And she also explained to me that there's an issue of spacing and pricing. And so after that, I determined on Fridays, we were just going to let it rip. And I couldn't come up with a name for it at all. And then, the working name was just Live Events, just Live at Vibe. And then we'll figure out what it's going to be called later. And so it's stuck. And that's kind of how it happened. So I definitely reached out to you as far as having a host that has personality. Lord, let's start with that. And personality and a real dedication to music, and then being here in the Bay. So someone who can speak to the environment of music. And so definitely wanted to have a host that could be more than just someone, oh, well, here's next. It's like, well, actually, what's the interaction like? What's the relationship with Bay Area music? And then we have our house DJ Square, who's followed me from unhoused events to hosting David Banner here. So my resident DJ, and then we have NTB house band as well. So things kind of just fell into place. And then, one of the biggest things was marketing. Me individually, I don't do it well. I don't understand it. And musicians are just wanting to show up and perform.
Right.
And so somehow I got connected with Kamel with Ankh Marketing. And the original story is that, that 3,000 square feet was heard as 3,000 seats. And I was like, no, we have 130 seats.
A little difference.
3,000. Yeah, there's no new venue. And I just asked him straight up, is there anyone who can work with smaller businesses to get things up off the ground? And that's how I end up inheriting Bianca Star Agency, who's been the navigator of our marketing to understand how do we actually give the artists their just due and make sure that people are showing up.
Okay.
So it's still a
Well,
work.
let me slow you down for just a minute, okay? Because you've dropped a lot of knowledge on us already. First of all, everybody, I want you to see that scrolling on the bottom is where you can find more information at vibebistro.com.
Yep.
Phone number is 510-730-0656 for get information, tickets. We're going to tell you more about that too. A lot of things that you said in there. First of all, thank you for the kind words about me. I'm honored to be able to do this. It's a great idea, and we need it. Like you said, 130 seats is about right for a lot of things that we're trying to do. So I appreciate that, and it won't take long to fill it up. So everybody, as we're talking about the people that are coming up, make sure you get your tickets. I don't know, like now, so that I don't care how far away in the future is, because you don't want to walk up there and the place is sold out. You'd be disappointed.
Please don't do
And
that.
but you talked about Valerie Trout, and she's going to be your opening act to kick off the whole thing on Friday. So there's Valerie. I did a little research on her myself, and Valerie, born and raised in Oakland, jazz, gospel, vocalist and composer, and an educator deeply embedded in the East Bay community, music director for the Embodiment Project, and co-founded Moon Candy, a live house ensemble, and integrates her passion for social justice through collaborations with the Museum of African Diaspora, the Queer Cultural Center, and the Yerba Buena Gardens Festival. She's Oakland's Oakland girl. She's got a lot of energy, and she channels the ancestors and a whole lot more during her performances. I've never seen her, but I'm looking forward to it. Did you write all these things that you sent me, by the way?
This is me. Yeah.
My God. I never heard myself sound good until I read what you wrote about me. I'm like, who's she talking about? Me. So fantastic writing, but everything you said about Valerie, and again, I've done my research now. It says she does sound fantastic, and she does have a following. So make sure you get your tickets for this Friday. So she's a good name to go, and they're going to go Martin Luther's 2 weeks later, and on and on and on. So what are your what's been your biggest challenge so far in getting this up off the ground?
The biggest challenge, honestly, it's new. So as clear as I can be about what it will be, as clear as I am about the importance of it, I call it a cultural landmark, legacy building, cultural legacy building, all of those things. It's the nervousness of it starting and it actually coming together. I can see the end of it, but it's, well, what if this happens? And so I'm just queen of contingency plans of like, okay, if this goes out, what do we do here? And then I've decided that we'll be okay. It'll grow. So more so my imagination running away with me, like, oh my gosh, what happens? And the truth is we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I grew up a church girl, family in and out of the church and stuff. And there will be a point where the music goes and they just break the music and it stops. And they're just, one of the calls and responses, we don't need no music. And it's just foot pounding and hand clapping and the music goes. And so that idea of, okay, well, what if something pops and what if something happens? We're dealing with artists, we'll create through it. And then we'll keep going, and then we'll figure out, well, what happened? Did anything go wrong? So it's just like, as long as the building is standing and the people are here and the energy is here, things will be fine. But honestly, people have been beautiful. Reaching out to artists and explaining to them that we're new, and they're like, I just want to get in early and I want to get in first to say that I was here.
Right. I've had a lot of, you and I are both helping to get some of the artists to come through, and everybody I've spoken to loves the idea and gets it. They get the fact about being in on the ground floor, letting this place grow, and then coming back again and again and again, So again, I mentioned some of the artists, some of the things that B has created for you from Ankh Marketing. So you'll see this all over my social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere I can put it, I'm posting it. Everywhere you can put it, you're posting it. So again, Vibe Bistro live at Vibe every Friday or every other Friday, vibebistro.com. Get that information. I'm gonna keep telling you that so that you can make sure you get your tickets and get your tickets early. So where have you been going to talk to people? I heard you were Davey D a little earlier today.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
So, and then last week or the week before last, was that last week? I was on JR's show over at KPOO, Minister of information. So talking there, but I had mailers go out, and what was most touching for me is that the flyer that we have, it has some information about the coffee shop on one side. So it's grind by day. And then when you flip it over, it's our night events, groove by night. And so I had mailers go out. And then last week I decided to just walk the neighborhood with my flyers and posters. And what was so beautiful is walking into some businesses at this it's a mall I can't remember the building right now. And to see other businesses, they had our flyer out on their counter. And I was like, I think that's tacky. Like, I haven't bought anything and I said, did I just drop that? I'm so sorry. She was like, no, I got that in the mail and I just put it up there. And then I walked to the next business and they had it in the window. And I was just really teary eyed that they'd gotten it in the mail, and the one flyer that they put in the window, even though on the other side it was a free coupon. They were like, no, I don't want to tear off my coupon because it has the live at vibe and I can always get that. So it was really touching to see Real Richmond show up, and they're, very happy to have their mailers. So shout out USPS, our postal man.
It works. It still works. It still works.
It still works. Yeah. So
what are your connections to Richmond?
Richmond, I've lived here in Richmond for, I don't even know, like 7 years. So I started in Contra Costa County working in alcohol and other drugs, the behavioral health. And I ended up getting my license through child and adolescent mental health. So marrying the addiction treatment in child and adolescent mental health while I was working on my master's degree. And so that landed me in West County in Richmond and working with my clinical supervisor and doing treatment of youth for drug addiction. So was able to found one of the inpatient programs where young people could get their education and complete drug treatment at the same time. So a lot of quietness just by virtue of the profession. Therapists aren't outside. Oh, this is who I'm working with and this is what I'm doing. So a lot of work, I still get quiet. It's like I'll do things and it's just like, I know that it's done, but you just don't put things out there. Hence the reason I needed marketing, because I'll do the things, but it's just like, it's quietly being done. So anyway, the connection to Richmond has been mental health and substance abuse treatment, working with the persistently mentally ill, but really crisscrossing the Bay for some of that too. But I've basically been here in Richmond.
Nice. So we also have a couple of performers that are from Richmond. Nisi Living Single is a Richmond girl. Rick Alexander is from Richmond. So they're going to be performing at Live at Vibe as well, which is a great idea to connect the two, because they're going to bring 122 of their family members and friends in there. So get the tickets right now if you want to get in for a little.
Please get a seat.
But continuing on with the whole Live at Vibe, you mentioned the food. So tell us about the food, because you keep telling me how good the food is. I haven't tasted anything yet. I'm gonna trust you.
Yes.
But if I can go on my show and talk about it. And by the way, my show every Tuesday I talk about it on IRTS Live. We've been talking about Live at Vibe for the last 3 weeks now. So, and I'm gonna get on there tomorrow night. We got a show and gonna talk about the food. So tell me what I should be bragging about on the food. What's your specialty?
So Vibe in-house, we have what I'm happy about. That was one of the first things some of the artists asked, is the type of food that we're going to have. So of course we'll have wings. It'll be more so bar food. We want not for people to have a full plate of barbecue, because we really want you to listen.
Right.
So there will be wings, something for vegans and gluten-free folks. So we're looking at wings, okra, crab cakes, just different little bites. What I'm interested in doing is also showcasing other restaurants. So Live at Vibe will have just different features. So we have empanada maker, Creole food, Cajun food, and if we do have barbecue, which I do like, we'll just definitely try to keep it so you can handle that in the semi-darkness. So that's things in consideration. People are dressing to impress, and we're not wanting to give them things where
dripping all over there.
Yeah.
Some are gonna be wearing white. That's not a good look.
Yes.
Yes, not good.
It's good. They good linen. We're
you
not.
Know what I'm saying? All that. So you also got a bar, right? You got a bar.
We do have a bar. So we do have a pop-up bar. And all of the proceeds from alcohol sales go to Art at Vibe, our art program.
Mhm.
So that's our built-in fundraiser for our arts program. So cocktails and mocktails.
Mhm.
So if you are, alcohol consumer or not, there are just various options available. I
Mhm.
know it's me. I'm usually the one who has the fancy juice and water. It's like, what is that? And I was like, it's every juice they have, and they gave me a little
Mhm.
umbrella. It's nothing in here, I promise. Yeah. Just they
Well,
gave me
you're also cooking a lot of the food, though, right?
yeah, I do cook. And so
See?
that's been the thing is to get me out of, out of the bag and being hostess or not the ticket person. And, I just feel
Mhm.
more comfortable. So my goal is to eventually get out of the bag and actually come out and see and sit and enjoy and partake. We'll see. I don't like a whole bunch of just strange people in my
Well, I
kitchen.
know I had to drag you into this thing that we're doing right now. So, so I told her, so you're
I
going to be
was
like Russell Simmons. If you don't do nothing else, you're going to be like Russell Simmons from Def Comedy Jam. Thank you for coming. Everybody get home safe. And then
thank
got
you.
it back
Thank you.
into the
Please
kitchen.
be safe and good night.
And that's it. That's it.
Mhm.
So again, this Friday night, July the 11th, we're going to open up the place with Valerie Trout right there that you see her live at Vibe. I am honored and happy to be your host every other week that we do these shows. We got a lot of entertainers going to be coming through, folks that you know, folks that you may not know. What we want to get you to understand is that you can count on this place having great entertainment, whether you heard from them or not. You're going to, you're going to come to a place that's going to be safe, that's going to have great food, cocktails and mocktails, and wonderful entertainment. Am I right?
You're right. And free secure parking
Free secure parking upstairs in the bar building, right?
right upstairs.
That's right.
Mhm.
So again, you can buy your tickets. Now, can they buy tickets at the door? Or is that just a risk or what's the deal there?
That's a risk. I would strongly suggest going to vibebistro.com, scrolling down a bit, and you can see all of our upcoming events. I would get a ticket, and also when you buy electronic tickets, that opens up communication between you and I. For future events, we'll have each other's emails, and I'll keep you in the know about what's new and what's breaking or specials, so I can email you. But I would strongly suggest getting tickets in advance to make sure that you have a seat.
That's it. That's it. All right. You did great, Free. Free
Thank you.
Brown, the owner of Vibe Bistro. I'm Jerry Dove. You've been kicking it with GDove. Again, we want to see you this Friday night, live at Vibe, July 11th. It starts at 7 o'clock. Our doors open at 7 o'clock. Valerie Trout's going to be there. She's going to kill it, and we're going to have fun. You're going to be honored to say that you were at the very first one. So make sure you get your tickets now. We'll see you on Friday. All right?
All right.
Peace.
Thank you.